Yo, what's going on, everybody? Show your boy Anubis here with a brand new video for you guys today. And today's video is not about FC. Today's video is for the Shebelieves Cup. For those who know, we also cover live sports here. Generally, we cover live sports involving the women's national team and the USL, as well as Barcelona women's team, Barcelona men's team, and other basically just whatever sport team that I like or sport leagues that I like. I talk about over here. So the Shebelieves Cup has been going on, 2 games have already passed, and I kind of want to do these in like burst. I don't want to do like a video every game. So we're going to do talk about the first 2 games and then go into the next game, which is actually later today. I don't know if you guys want to see this video, but they play Japan next, which should be a tough game because Japan and USA are always a hard fought game. Japan plays USA hard every single time. But let's talk about the first 2 games before we get into talk about the Japan game. All right, so over here on ESPN, we got the Colombia game up. The Colombia game, when it kind of as expected, honestly, we should have scored more goals. Colombia isn't really a hard game for the USA. We went in there with a 4-2-3-1, which has been, like I said before, when it comes to Emma Hayes, has been her most common, go-to formation when it comes to the team. She likes to play in that 4-2-3-1. And then with that, she also started Ali Sentnor on the left and Yasmin Ryan on the right. The triple espresso, Sophia Smith, Mallory Swanson, Sophia Wilson, Mallory Swanson, and Trinity Rodman aren't part of the Shebelieves Cup. They just want to rest. Some people didn't get called up, not because they're not or anything like that. It's just more so the cup isn't the most important thing on the schedule, and so some players are allowed to just rest. So with that though, we did see Catarina Macario make another return. For Catarina Macario, you have to remember she's someone who has that injury bug. Every time it's international time, we miss out on Catarina because of injuries, and it sucks because she is one of the most underrated players on the roster and one of the most forgotten players on the roster. But because of how often she's injured, people have forgotten about Catarina. They've forgotten how good she is. If anyone who watches the Chelsea women's team, they'll tell you like, yeah, she's fucking good. Anyone who watches the women's team, who I've seen her, like, yeah, she's one of the best players and would have probably been, a regular starter with insane stats had she, not really had to deal with the injury bugs. Catalina's more so a cam, but she did start this game as a striker. So generally comes with cam, they can play striker in general. And you could probably also imagine that as someone who plays the way that she plays, and this formation probably turns more into like a 4-3-3 defend more so than a 4-2-3-1. So she probably comes inside while Yasmin, Ryan, and Ali kind of become like inside forwards. And with at the same time, though Coffee is the DM, Lily Johannes and Lindsay He's both become attackers as well. So it kind of becomes like a 5 attacking formation with like Coffee just kind of just being like that DM who also isn't really like a true pivot because she also sometimes will make runs. So it's very, very offensive formation, even though we only had two goals. A lot of chances get created with the way that Emma Hayes plays this 4-2-3-1, and this is also why I always say when I talk about Emma Hayes, she loves versatility. The reason why she loves versatility because she wants to be able to have players be able to be attackers and defenders at the exact same time, not just being one or the other. So before we get to the scores, let's talk about some individual players first. So Lily Johannes has some amazing passes. She had a very, very good game. I feel like we're definitely she's still, I think she's only like 17 now. She turned 17 this year, turned 18 this year. So she has a lot of room to grow, and she's worth the hype. When it comes to like, okay, we went through all this stuff talking about Lily Johannes and how big of a deal it is for her to pick the USA over picking the Dutch. Where it's like, okay, will she deliver? And so far she's looking as good as expected. Coffee is Coffee. She is probably one of the best DMs in the women's game, and she's also someone who's very, very slept on. You don't hear a lot of people talk about Sam Coffee as a DM. If you're a gamer, for example, you play like FC25 or S24, her base card isn't freaking a high rated card, because EA doesn't really see her as being like a crazy good player. The thing about pivots is, that you tend to be unknown. You know, like when think about like prime Barcelona when it came to, you know, MSN and you know the prime of Xavi, Iniesta, and Sergio Busquets. Most people didn't notice Busquets. You know, people didn't start noticing Busquets until you know he left for MLS, and it's like, yo, damn, he was that freaking good. You know, but during that time, his position is the one that gets ignored because it's like, okay, he's not doing anything flashy. He's not really, you know, scoring the goals or doing the amazing assists that Iniesta and Xavi are doing. He's just kind of there. But to a real football eye, someone who understands how, you know, a DM should play, especially a holding DM, you're like, you know, this guy is a work of art. And that's kind of how Sam Coffey is. She is a work of art. You know, this is also why Rodri won the Ballon d'Or, because he might not have the pretty stats that like Vinny Jr. has, but he is, you know, the cog of the Man City wheel. And his injury has shown that. And Man City without Rodri has kind of been rough. And I think the USA without Sam Coffey would struggle on defense. You know, the USA has a very good defense, but I think Sam Coffey there's a term in basketball called the glue guy. Sam's the glue. She's the glue of the team's defense, and she's a need in order for the defense to, you know, maintain its shape. Because as that pivot, she is not just the connection between the offense and the midfield, but she's also the defense between the midfield and the defensive line. Speaking of the defensive line, Tara McCune had a very, very good game. It's funny to be, like, easy to forget that T.R. McCune used to be a striker. So in one of the things, I don't know if it was Australia, I think it was an Australia game. I actually saw her make some runs, and it's like, yeah, she still has that striker DNA. She has not forgotten how to be a striker, because she made some very, very nice runs. Nia Swanger was okay. I feel like she did get beat a few times. She did get subbed out for Giselle Thompson, who I think had a better game. Nia Swanger is always like that though. Nia Swanger is one of them players who, like, sometimes she's really, really good, and sometimes she's kind of just absent. Like, she's on the field, but she's just absent while on the field. So there were some moments in that game where she was kind of absent on the field. Fox was okay. Fox has never really been someone who stands out. She's just a serviceable right back. Sonnet was solid. I do think, you know, we do need to start seeing the future of our center backs getting to that spot. You know, Sonnet, I think she's on, like, you know, the last legs of well, she's in the twilight of her career. Let's go with that. She's in the twilight of her international career. So we need to start seeing, like, you know, who does Emma Hayes think can be the future partner with Tara McCune. Obviously, you think Tiana Davidson will be that person who wasn't on the bench for the game. And then when it came to the subs, you know, Alex Sinor came out and Ryan came out. We put in the Detroit native Michelle Cooper and Jaden Shaw. Jaden Shaw is an everyday starter. She just, like I said, Shebelieves Cup isn't the biggest, you know, competition, so we're not, you know, putting our best players out right now. It's more so kind of like, when we want to win, we also want to see what some other players can do. So we want to see what Alex Sinor can do. We want to see what Yasmin Ryan can do. We want to see, you know, what Lily can do. You know, it's going to dictate how many minutes they get when it comes to, like, the Olympics or a World Cup, you know, those kind of competitions, or, you know, the Gold Cup. When it comes to the scores, Katarina had a very, very good goal. Alex Sinor hit a fucking, like, that girl got a houser for a leg. She straight up put a cruise missile into freaking net. It was a very, very good shot and a very, very good goal. As for Colombia, they kind of just play how you expect them to play. Colombia is kind of a disjointed team in a sense that they have maybe 3, maybe 4, like, really good players. You know, Linda Caicedo, you know, Mayra Ramirez and Lacey Santos. Then outside of that, it kind of just, it's like a big drop off on, like, the talent there. You know, when it comes to the keeper basically just fighting for the life. The defense did it the best it could. USA only scored 2 goals, and honestly, like I said, they should have scored more. But again, you're talking about a USA team who didn't have their best forwards. You know, Colombia had their best freaking attackers when it comes to Lacey Santos and Ramirez and Linda Caicedo. USA didn't have triple espresso. So, you know, if they did have them, maybe it would have been like a 5-0, 6-0 kind of game. But it was a good game though. You know, like, there was something that I saw in that game where it's like, okay, USA looks a little rough here. You know, because a lot of times, like I said before, when you watch these kind of games, you're looking for where the team might struggle at, because when they start playing those hard games, you know, Canada, Spain, Japan, Brazil, France, like you're trying to see like, okay, what position, where will those teams attack the USA? You know, where are we looking weak at? So we get to like the statistics. You know, we had a very dominant possession game, which again screens to the point we probably should have more goals. No cards, which is very good. Columbia had 3. You know, you're going to get a lot of cards when you're trying to defend against a team that's just way better than you. USA had 3 shots on goal out of 10. You want a better conversion rate than that. But outside of that, it's not really like too much to go into. So we'll get into the Australia game next, which did see a change in, you know, the lineup. You know, the Australia game was a little closer. The scoreline looks closer than the game actually was. The game was pretty dominant. That late goals, just, you know, the usual late goals. Sometimes when it comes to sports, you can't really acknowledge a late goal as anything more than just that, because, you know, it's garbage time and the game's already really, you know, mostly over for the most part. So the changes that was made to this game was Lynn became a starter. They also put Emma Sears in for her birthday as a starter. Jaden Shaw started the game. Thompson and both Thompson sisters, you know, Alyssa and Giselle Thompson both started. Crystal Dunn came in as a starter. So pretty much went with an entirely new lineup for that game, because even though this is kind of a major tournament, it's also at the same time, you know, you're just trying to figure out how teams gel and who, you know, is going to be the future starters. Lynn is usually someone at this stage of her career who kind of comes in on the bench as like that game changer when we need a goal. Emma Sears is one of the future stars. Same thing comes to Jaden Shaw, but she's one of those future stars who's already like established herself as being, you know, someone who should be a starter. You can make an argument for Alyssa, but, you know, her competition is literally, you know, Rodman and Mallory Swanson. So, you know, you're not going to start her over either of those two. So, you know, she kind of got a harder climb to the top. Giselle could easily, in my opinion, be a starter over freaking Fonts and over Jenna Nightswanger. So, you know, there's now when it comes to Thompson. Sams is one of the best defenders at NWSL, and, you know, so she has a shot here as well. Germa, it didn't play. You know, she is someone who's still kind of recovering. I don't know if she's played against for Chelsea yet. But she is kind of on the recovery side. And that's why, like, again, a lot of players got allowed to have some time off so they can, you know, heal up, especially with the NWSL season getting ready to start up. We're currently in preseason. As for some of the performances, Emma Sears is freaking crazy. Like, she is so good. At least in this particular game, she was really crazy. The goal that Lynn got came off of Emma Sears. You know, Emma Sears' play led to Lynn scoring that opening goal. It was a good goal. Jaden Shaw had a phenomenal game. You know, it's not a game where you see on a scoreboard, but from a passing standpoint, a build-up standpoint, she was just insane. For the most part, up until like towards the end of the game, Tierda and Sams were doing very good on defense. You know, it kind of fell apart towards the end. But, you know, for the most part, it was really good. Crystal Dunn was Crystal Dunn. You know, she is a Swiss Army knife. She can be an attacker or defender, both on the flanks or in the middle of the freaking field. And she was having a very good game. Both sisters, when it comes to the Thompsons, were having a very good game. And then when the subs came in, that's where things kind of, you know, took a little bit of a change. When they put in Fox, you start to see a little bit more attack out of Australia. Again, points of what I said before about, you know, Fox kind of being a weak point. One of the goals, I'm trying to remember what was the setup. I think it was Ali Sitnor. Ali Sitnor had a very good run and a good shot on net that ricocheted off a player into Michelle Cooper, and that's how Cooper scored. So she got her in the last game. Ali got her first goal as part of the team, and then in this game, Michelle got her first goal of the game, and that's her job. Her job is to be a striker. You could say, like, you know, she kind of just, you know, was in the right place, right time for that goal. But, you know, you're a striker. Your job is to finish it. You know, it would be silly for her to not take that shot. You know, like, I guess I'll wait for my teammate to get up, and, you know, so she can get that goal that she worked for. Like, no, you got to take that shot. You're a striker. Shoot. But yeah, towards the end of the game, that's when that defense kind of got a little shaky. Again, I keep saying this, that Emily Fox is okay, but she can become a little bit of a suspect on the right side. When it comes to Australia, they didn't have, you know, their best forward in when it comes to Sam Kerr, who's going through like a lot of drama, which also kind of like the thing about Australia in general. There's like a shroud of drama over the entire team. Not even just like the whole Sam Kerr stuff. There's a lot of things been going on behind the scenes for Australia that's just been like a dark looming cloud over the team. But you know, Fowler had a decent game. Carpenter struggled, but wasn't like bad though. And overall, it was just like a game where Australia probably feel like they could have did more. But you can also say the same thing for the USA. You can say USA probably feel like they could have did more. And also, you can kind of tell who wanted the game, who wanted to win more was the team who played mostly their starters. You know, outside of not having Sam Kerr, Australia played a lot of their best players. You know, and one thing they could do out of that against USA, you know, basically just testing out, you know, who can play where in the future. So possession wise, USA again dominated possession. You know, again, shot conversion rate, you want that to be way better. Just like the first game, the conversion rate wasn't very good. Right here, the conversion rate isn't good with 15 shots, only 7 on target. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the Japan game. So this video isn't too long. It makes it easier for me to like edit. As I said before, Japan and USA are always a hard fought game. Japan usually plays USA hard. Which Olympics was it? Was it? I'm trying to remember what year it was where we lost to Japan in the Olympics. It was the 2015 World Cup. Was it 2015? It was 2011. It wasn't the Olympics. It was a World Cup where the USA beat Japan. Let's go over here. We've had 40 meetings total. USA has won 31. There's been 8 draws. Japan has won once, but that one win is one that mattered the most. It's been like it's been a long rivalry, and I know like the score line of like 31 wins basically like is you know not that strong of a rivalry, but it's always been pretty freaking close when it comes to how competitive Japan plays the USA. Let's go. Was it 2011, 2015? Got Miyama and Sawa. I don't remember what year it was. I think it was 2011. Yeah, 2011 or 2015. Yeah, so it was 2011. This is the year where Japan beat us in the World Cup. This is a year like we thought it was like going to be a guaranteed win. You know, because it was a year where like we showed against Sweden, because Sweden's another one of those teams who plays USA hard. The teams who play USA hard tend to be Japan, Sweden, and Canada. Yeah, we kind of thought we were going to have like a very good game and succeed in getting another World Cup that year. And there's the 2015 year. We kind of got our revenge. Carla Gold had a hat trick. Lauren Holiday had a goal. Tobin Heath scored. Tobin Heath says she's not retired, kind of like giving us a thought process that she might play again. But anyways, you know, Japan, USA, that's today's game. Expectations. I don't think we have the lineups yet, so I can't really. We can expect them to play a 4-2-3-1. We can expect the USA to play 4-2-3-1. I don't know what has Japan been running consistently. I've watched their games. I haven't like looked at their squad though. They've been dominating the teams who we played against. They dominated freaking Colombia 4-1. The team we beat 2-0. Playing 4-3-3. Okay. And then I'm pretty sure probably played a 4-3 against Australia too. Yeah, 4-3. So consistently, and like they've scored four goals in both their games. USA has scored 2 goals in both their games. So you know our defense is gonna have to work out for if you know Japan is clicking on all cylinders. Prediction wise, I'd say probably like a 2-1 or 3-2 game for USA. If Japan wins, then I'd say it's probably like the flip way around where it's like a 2-1 game where it could be like ending like a 2-2 draw. We shall see. If USA starts to lose early, how the outcome, this will show off like how good of a tactician Emma Hayes is. How will she handle substitutions to get the USA, you know, back into the driving seat and winning the game. So that's something we can look into. But yeah, the last time they played was the Olympics. You know, the USA won 1-0. But that was back in August. It's not August anymore, it's February. So yeah. That's it for me though. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Sorry if I sound like a little dragged out. It's early. I'm just kind of just out of bed. But I'll see you guys on the next video, whether it's a sport video for FC or a sport video for IRL sports. I've been USWNT Archer. I'll see you guys. I'm out of here.